Oh, one of those days. Yeah. Okay, so I know you guys can hear me. Just warming up, getting set to go on. Oh, one of those days. Just testing my sound, folks. So stay tuned. Yeah. Stay tuned. I'm hearing one, so that's pretty good, but the other way around. All right. Okay, so I know you guys can hear me. Just warming up, getting set to go on. Oh, one of those days. All right. Just testing my song, folks. So stay tuned. Yeah. Stay tuned. Stay tuned with to influences. You still have a few minutes to actually get on. So I know you guys can hear me. Just warming up, getting set to go on. One of those days. There's a little feedback. Just testing my song, folks. So stay tuned. Yeah. Stay tuned. Stay tuned with to influences. You still have a few minutes to actually get on. There's a so stay tuned. All right, welcome, folks. If you can hear me, what I'd like you to do is to give me a thumbs up or tell me that you can hear me, even while I'm getting set to really start. I think there are some challenges with me hearing myself, so that's a bit of a challenge here. But as long as you can hear me, and I'm hoping that I will be able to hear my guest, then all should be well. So if you can hear me at this point, just give me a little thumbs up or say, hey, you loud and clear or something like that. And that would be awesome. I would be really, really happy to know it. Please tell me, tell me, tell me. Okay? Please tell me. Tell me, tell me, tell me. Welcome, welcome everyone. Thank you for sticking with me. Welcome to our virtual community dialogue for this April, the 23rd of, the 23rd of April is Friday, the 23rd of April, 2021. I had my dates all messed up there for a while. Yeah, that's what happens when you're trying to multitask, right? So welcome to all of you. It is my pleasure to have all of you here with me this evening to have a hopefully what should be a very informative and enlightening discussion and dialogue with our guest for tonight. And of course, our guest tonight will be Mr. Glenson Prince, who is the co-founder of the Glenson Prince Foundation. And he definitely will be speaking with me and telling us a lot about what this foundation is all about. Before that, I like to start with an opening prayer, so bear with me. We just have to pray. So, Father in heaven, we want to thank you as I seal myself. And if you're like me, you can seal yourself in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Abba, Father, we thank you. Thank you for the gift of life, Lord. Thank you for your mercy. We thank you for your grace. Thank you, Lord, for your protection and compassion. We pray, Lord, that this program tonight will be informative, educational, enlightening for those, Lord, who have tuned in. We also pray, mighty God, for your merciful hand to rest upon us. We pray, Lord, that we will recognize that without you we are nothing. But with you, Lord, we can do all things, for all things are possible in Christ Jesus, our Lord. And so we commend this entire program to your Lordship, O God, and to your authority tonight. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. Amen. As I said, welcome again. And I told you what tonight's program is going to be all about. I want to highlight a few pertinent things before we delve into our discussion. One of the things that I've noticed, and a lot of you might have noticed it by now, is that we have some speed bumps in the town, and there are those who are happy for it, and there are other people who are not so happy about maybe some of the places where they have been erected. And then, of course, you have those who are kind of happy for them, but have some critique in terms of maybe how large and tall or high those speed bumps are. Well, as for me, generally, as a member, as a citizen of the town, as a resident of the town, I am thankful for the speed bumps, especially those on Rodney Street, because I am always concerned about how quickly we drivers can move, along that particular area. We have students and we have young people crossing, and even adults crossing that road back and forth, going to or in and out of the Benjamin's Park. And we know sometimes that accidents happen, and they can happen very, very quickly. So I think the speed bumps being there are a good thing. What I would like to advocate is that they can get painted very, very quickly or very soon. I had you could say, misfortune probably to see someone literally rode that thing because they did not remember or probably was not aware that there were speed bumps. That was on Wednesday morning, and that was a bit concerning. So let us ensure that we put things in place as quickly as possible to get all the speed bumps, those by the police station on Bay Street, and of course those on Rodney Street, get them painted as soon as possible so people can know that they're there and that we can all navigate with more safety. But I want to extend commendations to the town council, the mayor, Mrs. Prince herself, as well as, of course, I want to commend the police for cooperating and for ensuring that these have been erected. It would not be complete if I did not say that where I live in Chance, we require some speed bumps there. There's a corner just above where I live, and I've said it before on this program, and I've said it in other form, that there is need for one there for sure, and there is a need for other speed bumps in other parts of Chance area. So please pay us a visit, come and see for yourself, and do something for us, because we see some craziness happening in those corners on our mini highway. All right, so please do something for Chance. So we need some speed bumps there, right? Right. If you're from Chance, if you drive through Chance, you know what I'm talking about. Okay. I also want to mention and commend all the community members and the churches and the groups and organizations in our area who have been contributing to the relief effort of those in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I want to highlight in a big way our own locally, well, he's not based here, but he's from here, from the boat Promise Kept, Christelle and Samuel, who work on Promise Kept. That's the boat which has been taking, various things, relief supplies from Dominica to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Big up to you guys. We pray for your safety, continued protection, that you will continue to make a difference in the world and in our region. To all the churches, all the individuals, I saw people like Emo News, I saw even the town council, some of us, our own personal selves, we have made contributions. And those who have done it secretly, those who have done it openly, I want to just say commendations to you all as well, and encourage those of us those who have not us because I'm not me, but those who have not yet given. So please do something. We have to reach out and help others when they are in distress. Okay, so that's our duty, and I'm encouraging everybody to do that. I also want to say that many of us have received our second dose of the vaccine. Yes, and I know that many people are still hesitant, and some people just will tell you they will not take the COVID-19 vaccine. That's up to you. But for some of us, we have gone on and we've taken not just one dose, but both of our doses. I got mine on yesterday. Wow, time flies. Yesterday feels like a long time. Yes, and I've not been sick. I took the second dose. Thanks be to God. So far, so good. I've not felt any illness, any side effect really, and I'm very grateful. My mom took hers as well yesterday. I know a number of other people. So if you've not yet taken the vaccine, I urge you to go ahead and do that. All right. So having said this, I want to ensure that we go straight into our discussion tonight. Many of you came on because you want to see and hear what our guest, Glenson Prince, has to share, and I am very happy to have him. So, having said that, let me bring on the brother. He's already here waiting. He's waiting. Hey, Glenson, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Miss
You
Paul.
know,
I'm fine and you.
I see that you can hear me, but for some reason, I don't know what I have to do to hear you. It's kind of weird.
You're
I
not hearing me?
don't think it's your fault. I think your mic is open, so it's not your fault. It's something to do with my computer. Um,
Oh,
let me see. All right, talk to me again, please.
Justin, can you hear? Okay, that's great. But no, your mic is mute, so I can't hear you.
Yes, so I'm going to have to mute my mic every time you speak so we don't get that kind of feedback.
Oh, okay, I see.
Until I can work on the technology, I'm still working it out. It's for some reason that particular aspect of it has me. There is a little gadget that I'm using, and it's preventing me from just being able to hear you through an external speaker. So I still have to use that of the computer. But if I use it and you speak at the same time, then I get some feedback coming straight back into the computer through my microphone. Make sense? So that's why. So, welcome to Influences Virtual Community Dialogue, and it is my pleasure to have you join us tonight.
Thank you, and it's a pleasure to be here.
All right, so Glenson Prince is the co founder of the Glenson Prince Foundation, ladies and gentlemen. He is not just the co founder of the Glenson Prince Foundation, Glenson Prince is a very renowned name in Dominica. He is the goalkeeper, the national goalkeeper, as someone would say, the national professional goalkeeper of the football team or the national football team of Dominica, what you call soccer, we say football, right? And he is also, I think, a past teacher, a sports teacher, right? And past
Right.
teacher at at the Portsmouth Secondary School at first, and I think probably did you work at SJA?
No, I did not.
No,
You gave,
okay.
you gave me more posts.
All right, good. But yes, a past teacher of the with the Portsmouth Secondary School. He is a husband, and he will tell us who his wife is, and he's also a father, and he will tell us about his children. No longer a child because you have two children now, in my view. So you can
Exactly.
give clarity to that. But so he's these and a lot more. But Glenson, I would like you to tell the folks a little bit more about you and some of the things that I didn't highlight about you, so that they have a better picture.
Okay, so I am Glenson Prince. I am from the beautiful town of Portsmouth, or Zicack to be exact. I was born and raised in Zicack. I played my football here. I went to the RDPS, it was government school. I also went to the Portsmouth Secondary School and the Dominican State College. Um, I love football. I really, really love football. As a matter of fact, I started playing cricket when I was much younger. I only started playing football when I got to secondary school. So I started playing football late, by modern day standards. But like they always say, every disappointment is a blessing. Things happen for a reason. Because I remember, wanting to play football, but I could not play. So they threw me in the goal and told me, go in the goal because you obstructing us and stuff like that. and I was able to get training from. I must highlight these two persons. Greg Joseph. You should know Greg. Greg also a former national goalkeeper. Greg saw the potential in me. I remember my very first goalkeeping book was from Greg. And that helped me a lot to understand, that goalkeeping is not just goalkeeping is an art form, and there's a lot that you need to learn about that. Also, Andy Brickard, Andy and Chris, in the academy. Andy was the one who gave me my first goalkeeping gloves, so I know how important that is. And also, I got training there, and there's many other coaches that I've worked with, but these two, they really stood out because they had very important impact on my life. I must say thank you to them. Um, yeah, so
I'm happy that you mentioned Greg Joseph. And sometimes, people move on. So Greg has migrated. He lives somewhere, I think, in Guadeloupe.
yeah.
But he was just a fabulous goalkeeper. I want to say was because I don't know if he's still practicing. But when he goalkeeped here in Dominica, he definitely was a fabulous goalie. I mean, we everybody would go to the park just to see Greg defend his goal. So I'm happy to hear that he impacted you and influenced you positively, as well as the famous Andy. I mean, I don't know that there are many footballers right now in the town who can safely say that Andy has not inspired them or touched them in one way or another, in terms of building up their skills and getting involved in football. So we want to big up these two gentlemen, and we thank God for Chris and Andy and Greg and all these people who have made a contribution and continue to make a contribution to the lives of people like you and our young people, girls as well as boys here in the town. Who are your parents? Can you tell the folks who are your family members?
So before I mention that, like you rightly said, Greg is in Guadeloupe. As a matter of fact, when I played in Guadeloupe, Greg would also come to some of my matches. So that it was a bit emotional because after from seeing him um, looking at me from a very young age, seeing the potential in me, and then to see him over in Guadeloupe, looking at my matches, that was really touching. But my father is John Prince, and my mom is Magdalene Prince. While I on there, let me just talk about my siblings. I have Vanessa Hilton Gist is my older sister. Alia Prince is my younger sister, and my eldest brother is Glenwood Prince. Most people wouldn't know him because he hasn't been in Dominica for a very very long time. My two daughters, Judea Prince and Uzziah. Also, my wife, my beautiful wife, and my very supportive wife, Yasmina Prince. She's the other co-founder of the Glenson Prince Foundation, and she has played a pivotal role, in getting this to where it is, and hopefully we can get, we can reach where we really want to, because it's still in the infancy, and it's been just a few years, but we really want to impact like much more. Many more young children that we're actually doing right now.
All right. So thank you for that. And of course, we're happy and we want to say hello to Yasmina, wherever she is at this time. We want to thank her for being part of this Glenson Prince Foundation and being a co-founder, of course. And we want to thank God for you and your family because you make us proud in our town. You make us very proud as a young man. You have continued to be an example. You continue to be positive. You inspire many young people, and I'm sure we will get a bit into that. Some of what you have been doing or what the foundation has been doing over the time. But allow me to congratulate you on behalf of the town, on behalf of our people, to congratulate you for serving on our national football team, to congratulate you for again leading the team. I think you are the captain, my memory, so yeah, you are the captain of the national team as well. And you lead with a certain level of confidence and distinction. Even in the face of what one would probably consider defeat, you continue to be graceful. And I think that is something that stands out about you. So I want to extend congratulations to you and the team. Before we delve deep into the foundation and what you have been doing, can you tell us a little bit about the most recent preparation for your new match that's upcoming? I think you're going to be playing Barbados, am I correct? Barbados,
Anguilla and
Anguilla,
Barbados.
and Barbados. Okay, so maybe you can tell the folks a little bit about your preparation and how that is going so far.
Well, so far it's been good. We actually resumed training earlier this week. We had a few double sessions. As a matter of fact, we trained today, and we understand that, we understand the predicament that we are in. We know that, after 2 matches, we have 0 points. Although I would say that we perform relatively well, but at the end of the day, football is a result-oriented sport, and you have to do the things to get the results. And so, we have identified our weaknesses. We have been working. On that on the training field, and I'm pretty confident that over the next month plus, we will be ready for the 2 matches that we have remaining.
Thank you.
Don't forget the mic.
See my that thing that constant on and off thing they're driving me nuts. So thank you. Yes, I was saying this year it's very different in that it's the first, maybe it's the first time that the Dominican Football Association has been taking that sort of approach. I would say whereby you and the other players, those who have been selected to be on the team, are being you sort of brought in a camp setting every day, and you don't have to go to they don't have to go to their daily jobs. You guys are being paid, you could say like a salary for the time that you are away from your normal day-to-day jobs, so that you can just be at training. How has that been impacting your preparation?
First of all, let me just clarify a couple of things. Well, just one thing, we are not being paid. Well, the FA cannot pay us, but they can compensate us. So they compensate us for loss of pay. So whatever profession that you have, if you're a footballer away from your team, if you are a carpenter, whatever it is, the players are being compensated. And so, that has had a really a really big impact on our preparation, because normally we train, let's say if we train 5 times a week or 4 times a week, because remember these players also have their respective clubs, so at least one day or maybe 2 days in the week they will get to train with their clubs, and they also normally play on a weekend. So if we maybe get 4 or 5 days maximum with the national team, we have to try and cram everything into these sessions, because we don't have that much time. But now where we can have double sessions, we can train in the morning and then have a little break and then train in the afternoons, and we can get so much more. We can get so much more done. So the team the team is fitter, and also in terms of our formation, our tactical discipline, all of that. These are things that come over time, and it's repetition. You have to do it over and over and over, because of the amount of, even if the days might be the same in training, but the number of sessions that we cover, it's more, because we have double sessions. So that has been wonderful. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the DFA again. Every opportunity that I get, I always like to thank them, because this has been very impactful. Not just DFA, but also the sports division played a big role in that, with Mr. Trevor Shillingford, the government of Dominica as well, and all the other businesses, all the other stakeholders, who came on board to make this pilot project a success. I would like to say thank you very much.
All right, very soft-spoken man, but I'm sure very meaningful, of course, what you are sharing, and I know that it's coming from a good place, very authentic in your presentation and in your expression of gratitude, of course, to them. We heard you after the matches, and I'm happy you said even if Dominica has no points at this point, but the fact that you all played such a high level team like Panama and even Dominican Republic, and they were only able to concede in the case of Panama only 2 goals, and
Right.
in the case of one goal,
Two
two
in Panama,
in Panama and one
two
in
one and
Dominican
one zero in
Republic.
Dominican
Yes,
Republic.
says a lot about how defensive you guys played, of course, and also about your ability to preserve your goals. So
Yeah, most definitely. They were difficult matches. I mean, make no mistake, they were difficult matches. Maybe I mean we were going into these two matches as underdogs. As clear underdogs. Some people didn't give us a fighting chance. But also there were a lot of us. I mean, obviously we believe in ourselves, in our family, friends, etc. But there are also fans, who who believed in us because they see the amount of work that we put in, and it's not easy. When you play against these teams, they have a lot of professionals. Panama is a World Cup team. Panama qualified for the last World Cup, and they have a lot of experience. So being able to compete against a team like Panama, I mean, says a lot about our progression. Because I've been on the senior team for 16 years now. So I've been there for a while. And the last time we played Panama, or we played them in Dominica, we lost 5-0. And we played them in Panama, we lost 3-0. And these games were not close at all. I mean, it could have been much worse. So being able to compete against these teams, it shows that we have made it to the next level. Obviously, not where we want to be because I mean to get over that hurdle, to get over the hump, there's much more we have to do. But I believe that we are on the right track.
how many years have you been on the national team, football team?
Well, on the senior team, I've been here for 16 years. For the senior team, um, from 2005, that's when I made my debut. I mean, I started when I made my youth debut in '99. But that was a long time ago, and that was youth football. But on the senior level, I have been on the senior team since 2005. It's been an honor, not just to not just to play and represent my team, but also when you play and you don't just represent yourself or your family, you represent everyone. All the Dominicans home and abroad. So it has been an honor, and also has been very humbling to be the captain. I was the captain from 2008, and I'm still currently the captain of the team, and it's definitely an honor, and it has been a very humbling experience for me.
That says so much. To have been the captain of the Dominican football team, Dominican national football team for all these years is amazing. It says a lot about your personality. It says a lot about your professionalism, and also the fact that you are extremely committed to the sport. So we thank the FA for the confidence in you, but we thank you for being so outstanding, I should say, and exemplary. One might say, well, Mr. Getting Old Boy, how soon?
Yeah.
Are you looking to hang up your boots anytime soon? I hope not, but I'm just saying, I look because you started very young, so I don't think you're old or anything. But when is Mr. going to hang up his boots and pass on to
uh,
somebody else?
it could be anytime. I mean, I always feel like my body will be the indicator. My body will tell me when it's time to hang up my gloves. Over the years, we've been putting our bodies on the line, and we've been getting injuries and all of that. But I'm pretty free, and I'm still relatively young as a goalkeeper. As a matter of fact, Euclid Bertrand, my good friend Boots is 46, and Boots is still in
Yes,
the
yes.
national team. You understand? Boots is still in the national team, and Boots is running like any young man. So I mean, I'm not saying that I would be playing on the 46 because Boots is a very special person. I don't understand how somebody can be 46 and still running so much and still scoring so high on the fitness test and stuff like that. But with me, you never know. Probably I could retire in the next couple of years, or I could retire in the next decade. But my body will tell me when it's time to go.
All respect to that, of course, and I'm in no way suggesting that you should consider hanging up your boots anytime soon. I think it's
Yeah,
a matter
but that's a question I get. That's a question I get. So that's fine. That's a question I get all the time. Even before we went to Panama, when I had interviews with the press, that was one of the questions that came up. So no offense taken.
All right. Well, thanks for that. Yes, we have to give full respect to the man from Dubla FC. That's Euclid Bertrand. Of course, he's called Boots. I know him. I did a training with him some time ago. CERT. That was a few years ago. He's a positive guy too. So kudos to all of you on the national team who are making us extremely proud. I know we have other people from even the town, like I think Erskine and some other people. I
And
think
Malcolm as well.
and Malcolm. So we're very proud of all of you, and not just those from our town, but just all the entire team. We are very proud of all of you for what you are doing to fly our flag high, and so continue doing that. So we want to segue now into the real deal, which is truly which is what you said we would like to talk about tonight, which is the Glenson Prince Foundation. Can you tell the folks what is the Glenson Prince Foundation all about, and even why? Why are we even talking, or why did you even think of you and Yasmina, your wife, even thought about forming the Glenson Prince Foundation?
So the Glenson Prince Foundation is basically an avenue for us to be able to give back and to help, especially the young ones. And so we want to give back the younger to the younger ones. We want to help them in both academics and in sports. Now, I remember back in 2015. I mean, it just happened, and I made a Facebook post, and I was like, I'll be on the park, I'll be doing some training stuff. If anyone is interested, is interested, they could join me. I remember on the first day I had about it was about three of us. We had some couple sessions and stuff like that, and then by the end of it, we had probably 20 something. And like people were just coming and we were training, doing different things. And it kind of opened up my eyes and be like, sometimes you kind of take things for granted, and sometimes you don't see. And like the other thing is that, so like one of the things that I take for granted is just how much people actually look up to me. Sometimes you kind of take that thing for granted, that okay, because they're in the community, you talk to everybody. It's like, but they are, especially the younger ones, they look up to us, and that's why it's so important for us to be a positive role model, because you never know who's looking, and so. But so after that, I remember in I think it was in 2018. So we actually was so in 20 it was only in 2018, the foundation. So my wife and I had a discussion, and she was like, well, why don't we? I mean, you've been doing these things. Why don't we have something official, right? And let's have something official that we could help. Like we could help, and probably we could get sponsorship and stuff like that, and be able to help even more. So that's where that came about. So in 2018, we had the goalkeeping clinic. We had 7 goalkeepers, and we were able to provide goalkeeping gloves for them, and they were really happy with that. And we also provided training. In 2019, we had 16, and that was the first time we had one girl. And really, by the way, this year we're really looking to have more girls on board. Because we have to share the love. We definitely have to share the love. So yeah, so we had 16, and that was amazing. That was amazing. Unfortunately, last year we didn't have it because of the COVID-19 pandemic. But in the absence of that, we decided to see how we could actually help the those the people who need assistance. And so we were able to get some backpacks and some stationery. Some persons donated stuff to us, and we were able to help 12 students. Now, I know that it's not a great amount, but I'm pretty sure that the recipients, I mean, they were really appreciative of that. And that motivated us to do even more. We also donated books. We donated books well, what's that preschool? The Life.
I saw that you donated books to a number of schools, Penville, Cooley Street, I think Portsmouth. There was and some preschools as well.
Right.
So yes, and
And yeah,
12 is a significant number. So even if it might look small to somebody, but if your foundation in its very early stages is able to impact 12 lives, or 12 students before they go back to school, I think that is exceptional.
yes, and so we have been doing that, and this year, we have been, we have been on a drive. I want to. I mean, we couldn't do it alone, and there were a lot of persons who chipped in, even if it's one bag, some books, some stationery, whatever it is, that went a long way. And I just want to highlight them. So just allow me to do that. So these are persons who have been either a sponsor or partner or whatever it was. So Algin's Pizzeria, Algin has always been helpful, always. Bluetooth Barbershop, Mr. Arlington James, the Sports Vault, and the Dominica Football Association as well. They provided a lot of equipment for us to train the goalkeepers, Mr. Trevor Burchan, Elize Electrical Services Limited, LA Enterprise, Rachel Barodi, Yvette Laura, Cyril Hyacinth, Gavin Richards, Coral June, sorry, Angela Hench, Iana Alcid, Danica Barron, Aflin Nesty, Cedric Warrington. So these are some of the people who have contributed towards this. But there are also other people who have promised us that they would do that, and I know that they will. They gave me their word. They gave us our word. They gave us their word. That they would help. We have also contacted some other business places where I'm still working on some sponsorship letters as well that I need to send out. And also, if you're looking at this, if you're listening, feel free to contact us. You could send us an email at the Glenson Prince Foundation at gmail.com. You could message us on Facebook. You could message us on Instagram. That is the Glenson Prince Foundation. Or you could send us a WhatsApp message, 277-2010. So that is 277-2010. So if you want to help out in any way, you can please do that. And this year we are looking to, our target is we're looking to have at least 20 goalkeepers. At least 20 goalkeepers. Now, with the goalkeepers, I would like to train everyone. I would like to provide gloves for everyone. Obviously, when I say I mean the foundation. It's not a me thing. It's all of us. But that is what we want to do. We want to provide the gear for the goalkeepers. I want to train them, but we specifically targeting the goalkeepers in the primary schools. There can be those in the secondary schools as well, but especially those in the primary schools. Because many times I would watch the games and stuff, and I would see even earlier today. There were some matches at the Benjamin's Park, and I would see goalkeepers that have no goalkeeping gloves. Now I know how it is, how difficult it is for you to goalkeep. Sometimes, if it's raining or the ball is slippery, you cannot hold on to that ball. Sometimes the ball will hurt your fingers and stuff like that. So we feel like if we can target the goalkeepers at the schools and at the school levels, then the training that they get and the gear that they get when they play in the tournaments for the schools, then that would make more of an impact as opposed to just training someone who will not continue goalkeeping, so to speak. So that is our main focus. Also, we for the backpacks, our minimum or target is we're looking at 30. So if we can get at least 30 backpacks with stationery, then we would have met our goal. We are hoping that we will exceed that goal. But so far, we have been the responses have been good. People have been coming on board. People have been donating things, donating bags, stationery, things like that. So we are very confident that we will indeed meet our target for this year.
I like that. That's very encouraging. I want to ask you, what is the registration like for the goalkeepers? What do you call it? The clinic, goalkeeping
Yes.
clinic. Is there a place that people can fill out a form? How do you go about registering or recruiting rather participants, and or do you do a selection process because you may get a lot more than maybe 20, and how do you go about selecting them? So maybe somebody's out there saying, I want my son or I want my daughter to go to this. Do you have specific dates already that you are looking at having that particular clinic as well? So tell.
Okay, so what we normally do, we normally we normally target the schools. We normally target the schools and get we liaise with the coaches from the various schools, and we would get their goalkeepers. So both male and female. We look to get their goalkeepers. And like I mentioned earlier, we're looking to target these goalkeepers, these students, you know, who are actively playing, because we feel that will be more beneficial. But it's not limited to, because apart from the schools that we contact, there are also academies as well. There are persons around. We studied that. I'm from Boston, but my wife is from Penville. We studied that. We in the north, but we've had persons from Paybush, from Bakers, from all over, and even if it's kind of close to the north, but the reason why we haven't been able to do everywhere is because because of the limited resources. And it has been me when it comes to the goalkeeper training aspect of it. I've been the one on the field. Um, Although last year, Mr. Kritney Challenger, well, not last year, but the year before, he is the goalkeeper coach. He is my goalkeeper coach. He was there. There are other coaches as well who came. But I'm talking about just like the actual training itself. So, hopefully this year, I'm looking to have more persons, to help out, because we want to give the goalkeepers the best experience, and we want to give them as much attention as possible, so that they can develop even faster. But if someone wants their son or their daughter to be part of the goalkeeping clinic, then they can contact us. Hopefully, they'll watch this over and they will see the contact information or I can also provide the contact information to you that you can post it as well. But they can contact us. I get the feeling that we will have more than 20. I really get the feeling, and my hope is that we can have gloves for all of them. That is my hope. The more persons, like I said, the more persons we have on board, the more resources that we have, and then the more resources we have, it means that the more students that we'll be able to help. So that is my goal, or I should say that is our goal for the goalkeeping training. The dates, we look, well, the schedule there, I mean, it could change, but for now, we have discussed that, and we have decided to have it on so it will be 4 days. It would be the Tuesday, that is the 3rd of August, that is the Tuesday after August Monday. So it will be the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Normally, well, it's at the Benjamin's Park, and normally we have it from like 9 a.m. to about 12. Yeah, so we normally have it like that. And on Saturday, the 7th, so for the first time, we'll be having an official closing ceremony. So that the ceremony will be essentially 2 ceremonies in one. We are looking to award to recognize the goalkeepers. We have different prizes for them, and also at that ceremony we will we'll take that opportunity to give out the backpacks and the stationery and stuff like that. So that's the plan for now.
That's very good. You said 4 days. So do you think you accomplished enough with those young budding goalkeepers in 4 days? Pretty much like about what, 3, 4, about 12 hours of training, you could say. If you think about it, do you think you achieve what you want usually during that time?
Well, yes, normally we do. What we try to teach them is the fundamentals of goalkeeping. We want to teach them the fundamentals. I mean, there are a lot of there are a lot that we can accomplish, in these sessions. And obviously it is not gonna be enough to produce, world class goalkeeper, that kind of thing. But in the 4 days, we will be able to work on various aspects of goalkeeping. So each day we look at maybe 2, 3, 4 different aspects and really hone in on that. I mean, I wish that we could do it for 2 months, but it's just not possible. My hope is that after these 4 days, the goalkeepers will be they'll be like, their minds will open up. They will see just how much goalkeeping entails, and it will push them to go on the park, to put some of the things that they would have learned into practice. And they would have their gloves. They would be able to play with each other, and do certain things. I'm also hoping that they when they go back to the academies, or the various schools, that they can also have some training, and that kind of thing. But that is a very good point, because we speak about that all the time, but we wish we could have this for a much longer period. But we believe that 4 days is adequate to teach them some of the most of the fundamentals of goalkeeping.
Okay, do you get to follow them up at all over well, I know last year you did not have it because of COVID-19, but are you able to do any, if not necessarily formally follow them up, but are you able to do any kind of follow up of the people that you've already trained the year before, probably? Um,
Yes, we have been able to do that. As a matter of fact, what day was it? Early in the week, a few days ago, and I went to the park. Then we had training. I think we had one session. So in the afternoon, when I was free, went on the park. Just to watch what was going on, and I saw about 4 of them. Who were part of the clinic, and we were just impromptu. We just did something there. It was really nice. So from time to time, I would go in the park, and a lot of them, they are from Portsmouth, so I would see them, and every time they see me, they would ask about when is the next clinic, and this and that and that kind of thing. But yeah, And it also motivates them because like every time I'm around, they want to show me what they have learned and they want to show me what they can do and that kind of thing. And I recognize that it means a lot to them, and I just try to give them that encouragement. So yes, and the first person who actually mentioned that to me. As a matter of fact, I was having a discussion with Brutus some time ago, and he asked me that same question because it's like the boys. He noticed that the boys, they would be in the park, and doing the thing. So, whenever I get the opportunity to, I normally do that. Obviously, I have my own training sessions, with the national team. So, and it's kind of difficult, but wherever I can, I do it.
Okay, so you did mention that you are in need of not just stationery for the backpacks and other things of that sort, but also human resource, people to support you with the training that you'll be having. Someone, again, I suppose if someone wants to volunteer, that they can contact you again via the number that you've given us or via email. So far, do you have commitment from individuals saying, I am willing to work with you this summer? They're willing to give their time.
Well, so let me just give you a little rundown of our executive. So we already have people by default who will be helping us. Um, so obviously, I am there, being the president and the media personnel. Yasmina is the vice president and social media personnel. Glenn Elise Mr. Piero, Danica George, Secretary, Vanessa Geese, Treasurer, and Sasha John Carbon, Assistant Secretary slash PRO. So we already have people on board who will help us, because we are there, because we like I said, I mean, it's not just a me thing or just my wife and I. We have people on, but we have different minds. We come together and we share different ideas and stuff like that. But in terms of like, if somebody wants to volunteer and they don't know that much about goalkeeping or stuff like that, and that too is fine because we would still need manpower, to do different things. I personally will be contacting um, goalkeepers, people who I know that already have the fundamentals down, and they can now teach, so that they can assist me. But if someone wants to help in any way, I mean, we will not turn them away. Believe me, we will not turn them
Okay, that's good to know. Um, I wanted to find out as well, like, particularly for the goalkeeping clinic. Do you find that there is a need for other elements to be incorporated apart from just goalkeeping in terms of the social skills of the young people that you work with, the ability to work with a team, so the team building skills, group dynamics, even the esteem, the value system, the hygiene, those basic things. Do you incorporate anything like that into your training or into your clinic? And or if not, do you see that that is something that probably you guys need to start incorporating? Because I think it's important to look at the holistic aspect of the. I know it's 4 days, but can you find that if it's not yet done, is there a way that do you see the need for it? First of all, maybe I should say, and is there a way that you all can probably consider incorporating some aspects of leadership and group dynamics into the whole clinic, which is a great initiative, by the way.
So, oh, thanks, Larry. So that's a very interesting question, and this is something that we have been discussing. We have been doing that to a certain extent. We are not where we want to be, but we have, like in the past, we have invited persons, to resource persons, to come in, to speak to them, even within the football itself. Like for instance, the national team coach, he addressed the boys, well, and girl. We also had the technical director, of DFA. We had the youth officer, So we had different persons come in, but we also looking to get, other resource persons, because, I mean, we recognize that it is, I mean, we do a lot ourselves, by, talking to them, showing them, and like, and there will be, like, within the training, there will be certain instances, well, opportunities to learn, like probably how they deal with certain things. Maybe when it's time for water break, or like what exactly do they do? Things like that. So there are always learning opportunities there. But that is something that is definitely high on the priority list. Like I said, something that we've been doing, and that's something that we want to do even better. Yes, it's 4 days that we have, but even in that 4 days, there's a lot that they can learn in terms of how they need to conduct themselves, what is them um, right and wrong, and or socially acceptable, and certain things like that. And like I mentioned earlier, it's very important to, like, the way that we carry ourselves, like we have to be role models to, to these students. And I mean it makes no sense to have a program like that, and then you yourself, you're not a positive person, or you're not a role model to, to these children. So definitely that is something that we have been doing, and something that we're looking to improve on.
Well, this is good, and one could say that the foundation has been doing things, but people probably didn't even realize that hey, there is a foundation behind the activities that they've been seeing. Because I remember seeing photos and other things of the clinic that you held the year before, and I was very impressed with what I saw. Of course, that little boy who used to be my neighbor, Kelvin. I remember
Yes.
seeing him going to the park for that week, and he's never stopped going to the park. As a matter of fact, every so often that I go walking or something along the park, I see him with his little gloves, and he's there practicing his goalkeeping. So I think you all are shaping some lives in a very positive way. So it's good things that you are doing thus far. And so, what if you were to make a special appeal again to the folks? Tell them exactly what you will need going forward. How exactly they can support people can come out and support the Glenson Prince Foundation, especially this year, but even going forward. You can emphasize those things. Maybe be more specific with it. That is.
Okay, so definitely goalkeeping gloves. If you can donate goalkeeping gloves, normally we look at sizes from 7 to 10. Maybe you might have couple size 6, because you may have some students with, with small hands, but normally size 7 to 10. So that is a big plus, because that is something that we want to have we want to ensure that every goalkeeper in the clinic would have goalkeeping gloves. Any equipment, that goalkeepers would use, footballs, hurdles, ladders, um, cones, markers, anything like that. Like I said last time, in 2019, we got a lot of these things from the Dominican Football Association. Also, the Mr. Ellington Sabin and the Bombers.
What about boots? Do you find that some of the young people, some of the children, the participants come and they have no football boots, and that becomes an issue? Because I think you also want them to get familiar with utilizing a boots while doing their goalkeeping. Is that something that they will also need?
Oh, that's a good point as well. That is something that we we are looking forward to undertaking, but we felt that we didn't have the capacity right now to get both glove and boots. We know, getting boots, can be a bit expensive. Even if the gloves might be a bit expensive as well, but normally a glove would be cheaper or more affordable than football boots. If we get some football boots, that would be amazing, because yes, some of the footballers, you see them, they would come and they might have sneakers, and it's yeah, it will hurt my heart to see them, there in a sneaker, and you cannot give them goalkeeping boots, because you really don't have, and so, if persons out there who are willing to, provide football boots to them, that would be fantastic. It would be elated. Also, we're looking at sourcing uniform for them. It doesn't have to be long sleeve. It could be just football uniform. It could be pants and shirt, probably socks as well. If not, probably try and get that as well. So if they can have that to train, that would be good. At least there would be some form of uniformity. Everybody would look like they are part of something. We have been looking at. There's a lot of things that we're looking at, but it's just one step at a time. Getting uniforms, having the having them printed, having the logo on there and stuff like that. But all these are future plans. But even though if it can be expedited and we get something now, then definitely that will help a lot. Um, Also for
Refreshments. You guys meet every day. Water, a little bit of maybe energy drink. I don't know. I'm just saying out there
yeah,
maybe
trust me,
snack.
I'm getting to that. Believe me,
Right,
I'm
right,
getting to
great.
that. Yes. So yes, water and Gatorade. We already have some Gatorade. We have a small cooler as well that we had for last year, but because we couldn't have the activity last year. It's there, but it's still here to be used. But definitely water. We would need water. Probably some energy drinks as well. That could go with the Gatorade. Like so that every day that they can actually have these things. We're also looking to give them some fruit snack. We want to give them something healthy. Not any junk or anything like that. So at least every day, they can have that. You know. Also for the closing ceremony, like I said, for the first time we're gonna have an official closing ceremony. By the way, we normally give them certificates. There's normally a certificate for everyone. We're looking to do one better this year, and probably have medals and maybe something. Like I said, we want to recognize them, for all the effort and everything. So for the closing the closing ceremony, um, there will be um, there will be children as well as adults, because we will be inviting the parents as well, to the ceremony. And so we so any drinks, it could be, well, the non-alcoholic drinks, for the children, also for some adults as well. Probably some wine. We're not looking for any kind of hard rum and stuff like that, but something with some shandy. Like little things like that, where you could have some refreshments. Some snacks and refreshments for the closing ceremony. So
Awesome.
that would
So
be good.
any way somebody can make a contribution, even the person with the PA system, maybe for the closing ceremony, can donate that. Someone is asking a very important question. Does your foundation have an account in the event someone may want to make a financial contribution?
So that is a very good question, and that is something that we have recognized that we have been working on, because we are actually in the process of formally registering, sorry, the foundation, as an official non-profit organization. We had to do that since last year. Remember, with COVID and everything, we at that point, people, we were in survival mode, and so everybody had to so that had to go. That had to be pushed on the back burner. So right now, we are in the process of doing that. We have already started all the paperwork and all of that. So we're hoping that pretty soon the the foundation will be registered. And once it is registered, then we will have our account. Because at the end of the day, you want transparency. Although there are persons, I have friends who would say, well, here's $100 to go towards this and that kind of thing. But that is, it's the things that we record and take note of and that kind of thing. But that is like just unofficially that kind of thing. As people who know us and trust us, at the end of the day, when people do these things and like someone gives you money, they want to ensure that these monies are being done, are being utilized. Sorry, for the right cause. So so in the interim, if somebody wants to do like so my suggestion is one of two things. Either one that they um they give us, maybe write a check or something, that kind of thing. They would give it to me, who is here, and I would ensure that we take note of everything, and as soon as the foundation is formally registered, and we will have our bank account, and have it transferred there, or just wait until, if they're not comfortable with that, just wait until the foundation is formally registered. Then we will have our bank account, and then we would do that. So and I recognize that, because there are some people who definitely want to help, but they don't have that time for them to go to source this and source that and buy this and buy that. They prefer just give you money to go towards something. And I mean, we definitely recognize that, and we obviously see the need to have the foundation formally registered. So we are definitely working on that.
So hurry up and do that, because
Yeah.
I'm thinking that people will look at this and they will be willing to make a contribution somehow. For the other thing I would ask, Louis, is especially in terms of getting things for the football related things for
Uh-huh.
the participants. Have you ever thought about partnering with maybe some international football organization? Maybe not necessarily partnering, but reaching out to them, and which would be partnering, but reaching out to them and requesting maybe their support. Maybe you did, but I'm just throwing it out there. Is that something that you have been doing or have been thinking about doing? Because I mean, some of those resources, I'm sure some places probably have them in abundance, and they can just ship it to Dominica, so you can make a difference. I don't know. I'm just
I
saying.
laugh. I laugh.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm not really
Yeah,
asking that, but I'm
no, no, no. I'm laughing because it seems like you're looking at my screen. But yes, that is definitely something that we have been doing. As a matter of fact, we're in talks um with a potential sponsor, potential main sponsor. Hopefully, if that if things happen well, then they will be able to sponsor like football related things, and then that we'll be able to help more. Well, we're just keeping our fingers crossed that things work out how we actually want them to. But we definitely have been doing that, because like I mentioned to you, the more that we get, the more the more that we can help, the bigger impact that we can actually have, on these children's life. Because like, look at me, I'm pretty free today. When Greg gave me a glove, the goalkeeping book, and Andy gave me a glove, I was I was 11. I was 11, and I still remember that today, because that to me, that was a huge, huge, huge thing. As a goalkeeper, to get your first glove and put it in your hand for the first time, and it feels weird, and like, what is that, that kind of thing. And then it's like that, and I know how much it meant to me, and I know how it actually shaped my life, and that like these things um allowed me to pursue football, and kind of, because I used to play cricket before, but I think the only thing I could really do was feel. I could feel good, but when it comes to batting and bowling, I wasn't. Yeah. So like I pushed cricket aside, and I pursued football, and so um that that had a big impact on my life. And it may seem insignificant to some. It might just be a glove to another person, um, but I know to a lot of these children, it will mean the world to them. And who knows, we may have the next national team goalkeeper, you know, coming from the from the clinic. You never know. So you never know the impact that you can make on these children's lives. And we're just thankful that we are in a position where we can give back to them.
You are certainly setting trends, Glenson, to be a national player, but thinking about the younger generation and making your own contribution to ensuring that the sport that you love continues, among our youth. I think all people here love football. Whenever there is a match, people go down to the park and, you have that long line of folks, just looking on. Of course, sometimes we can be volatile. When we performing well, we're excited, and then
Yeah.
when we're not performing well, people start to abuse people and so on, which is not the best thing. But the point is, I think all people are very passionate and excited about football generally in the town. So you are doing, your foundation is doing something very remarkable, and we want to encourage the folks, all of you out there, and if you know somebody else who can support, to go out and support the Glenson Prince Foundation so that he can continue to make the kind of difference that he wants to make, that the foundation and the members would like to make. I want to ask you though, earlier we spoke a bit about hanging up the boots and that sort of vibe. But I mean, in the event that that becomes something that you have to do, are you as an athlete, are you as a footballer, are you as a national player making preparations for other things that you should be doing in the event that you will no longer be, playing football like this? I mean, I'm not saying that it's going to happen overnight, but one of the things I see is that some people, they're into something like that and they make no plans like for the future. So I'm hoping that you are doing that, and maybe somebody else might be thinking it. So I'm asking it anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you see, the thing about it is that in life we have different passions, and I always maintain that I will pursue my passions, and if I'm not passionate about something, I will not pursue. Um, Earlier in my career, I was passionate about teaching. I was a teacher for 12 years. I love my job, but football was what I really wanted to do, and so I had eventually, to go professional, I had to give up teaching. But moving forward, like I see, there are a lot of things that there are a lot of things that I see that I can do, like and I am definitely making preparations for that. Even as a coach, could be a goalkeeper coach, it could be a youth coach, it could be a senior coach, whatever it is. So I am making preparations for that. Also, I love videography and photography. I love doing that. Like I really, really, really love that. I have massive, massive passion for that. So I normally make videos and I edit stuff and things like that. And I believe that like the same fire that I had in my belly, growing up and playing football, I have that same fire when it comes to that. So I personally believe that if not coaching, it will be that. Maybe something else can come along, but I mean I'm already actively doing it, and I believe that once I decide to hang up my gloves, then I will definitely pursue one of these.
All right. Well, I'm happy to hear that, and I'm happy that you are making preparation and you do have other passions that you can certainly fan the flame of and have begun putting those things in place, because that's vital. That's very important for us all to do. So I'm seeing on the comment on the chat a number of people are there, and Karen K. Lawrence, asked somebody else a different name. She says we will talk Glenson Prince. And then I see Patsy Matthew, who is somewhere in the United States. She's from Portsmouth. You probably know her. Julie London's daughter, Patsy. She says, Glenson Prince, I will reach out to you. So if she doesn't reach out to you, I say reach out to her, all right? Yes, do the necessary, because I mean people are busy, and so there's go back the folks who tell you they will reach out to you, and reach out to them as well, because Tom Francois, he was the one who asked the question about if somebody wants to make a financial contribution. So I mean you can liaise with these people and find out how it is that they would be willing to support. I know that there are lots of other people who probably are just watching and thinking about it. So I'm hoping that something good comes out of all of that. Is there anything else that you want to mention as it pertains to the foundation before we go further?
Oh, well, I think the future plans. I would probably mention that. Although, should I mention? Yeah, I think I should. Because we kind of we kind of setting the groundwork for certain things.
If you're not ready, don't say it. If you're not ready yet, don't say it. That's my take on it. Okay. If you have feelings about it, don't say it. But say what you really want to say.
No, I mean, yeah, my wife and I, we always talk about these things, and it's like every day, like we have to, message each other about something foundation related or whatever it is, and in the future we would really like to have a fun day. We really like to have a fun day. I mean, and we know that there are a lot of people who would, a lot of people who give back, a lot of people who support us, and who give back to the community and all of that. And we're just hoping that in the near future, sorry, probably maybe it could be next year. I mean, definitely it wouldn't be this year, and probably next year. We're looking to have, a fun day where, you could bring your children, probably, on the Benjamin's Park, and there will be different activities going around, maybe have things for the children and like sports and maybe some fun activities and things like that. Maybe we could use that activity as well, maybe probably to raise some funds, maybe to have some raffles, do different things like that. But it's just a way of just giving back even more to the community and having, especially the younger ones, have something to look forward to.
I think that is fair, and it's also a way for you to interact with your patrons and with your supporters and sponsors. So I think it's something you guys can work towards, and of course it will also allow you to attract more partnerships, I'm sure, going forward. So I personally want to join you in thanking all the people who support the initiative or who have supported it before, who continue to support it. I heard some very young entrepreneurs like Glenn Worthy and his electrical business, even Ellie Enterprise and all these agencies and individuals who continue to support what you are doing. And I urge all of us, in big ways and in small ways in the town, to support such a noble contribution and a noble activity, not just activity, but a noble foundation, I should say, because I mean, you guys will be doing more than one activity anyway as time goes by. So I want to thank you for sharing that. And before we leave, I must ask you, what is it that you would like to say to young men? I'm always concerned about the young men of our community, and I'm sure you are too. And one of the things that we notice is that we are losing only our young men very quickly. Like almost every week, there is something different that happens with a young man that allows us to say, why are we losing him so quickly? If there is a young man out there looking right now at this, or probably you look at it later, and he's probably in just a situation that he's not sure where to turn, what to do with himself, etc. What would you say to this young man today? You being a young man yourself, what would you say to young men? I'm asking you particularly to talk to young men tonight. What would you say to them?
Well, I would really like our young men to do some introspection, to look within themselves and look at their lives, and like the young men out there, are you satisfied with where you are? Are you satisfied with what you are doing? If you go out today, God forbid, you die today, what kind of legacy are you leaving behind? What impact did you have on your community, on society? And these are the things that we have to keep asking ourselves, because I see a lot of young men who are misguided. Although, people may say, oh, they this and they that and whatever, but I know for a fact that these young men are simply misguided. From a very young age, the influence that they had wasn't good. And a lot of times it stemmed from home, maybe, an absent father. It could be, problems in the home. They could have, there are those who had, more than, they had both parents, but maybe, constant fighting and this and that. And you never know, the friends who they frequent and all of that. All of that play, a great role, a pivotal role in our lives, and that is why it is very important to surround yourself with positive people, because it doesn't matter what it is. They are like the people that that you frequent, things will always rub off. Like things will always. So no matter how strong you believe you are, okay, if I'm around smokers and I will not smoke, and it's fine. I mean, I know people who are around smokers and they don't smoke, but there will be. I just use it as an example, but there will be certain other habits that you will pick up from them, even if you don't pick up the smoking habit, you'll pick up something else, And I mean, it's really a shame. It's really a shame because I know a lot of these young men. I know they can do better, but at times they see that they feel like there's nothing for them, or yeah, there's nothing. There's no one for me. People already brand me as a this or that. I might as well just stay that because if I try to change, they might say it's not sincere, things like that. But I also I also want to make a plea to the leaders in our community as well, to see how we can help a lot of these young men. I mean, I know there are some who try to help them, and then they may end up turning around and biting them in the butt. But we cannot give up on our young men because guess what? These young men um they will be there in society. We have a lot of people like myself have young daughters, growing up, and would you be happy if your daughter would, let's say, bring home one of these young men who don't seem to have anything right, don't seem to have their priorities in order? And I will keep stressing on them being misguided and not being bad eggs or rebels or this and that. They just need guidance. And that is something that we have to guide the young ones, from a very, very young age, and shape and mold them. And if you can do that, then it's going to be so much more difficult for them to be led astray because they already have that solid foundation. And that is one of the things that we're hoping that with the foundation that we can actually do, we can actually mold the minds of these young men and women, and then they can become productive people in our communities, and that is what we really want.
Thank you for that. You made some salient points there. One of them being that a number of them grew up without a father figure. The other one being that often people brand them as not good, bad eggs, this and that. But I like to say personally that nobody was born bad. That is my view. Like nobody was born being bad. So
Right.
if we see them as being bad today, something went wrong somewhere along the way. So we all have a responsibility. And of course, you mentioned the fact that the girls have to get husbands, and
Yep.
especially the young ladies. I mean, whew, oh man, sometimes you wonder who are the fathers going to be, who are the husbands going to be. So I want to commend somebody like you, who you are a young man, you are a husband. I don't know how you do it, the distant relationship, but you're making it work, so that's good. That's another plus for you in your cap. I know it must be tough, but you're keeping up as a young man, so that too is an example to other young people. Um, so I'm saying a lot of things there, I guess. But what I'm saying to you is I am proud of you personally. And I think a lot of us in the town are very proud of the person that you are, the example that you are, and that you do care. You care for our young people. You care for our young men, our young ladies, and you are making a difference with your foundation, with your wife, with the other people on the executive who are supporting you, and all the volunteers who will come on board, to make a difference. So I personally want to say to you openly that I'm very proud of you, and I thank you for what you are doing in the town. And personally, if there is any way that I can support going forward, that I myself will support the Glenson Prince Foundation. Yes.
Thank you very much, and thank you for affording me this opportunity to be able to speak, to the world, about the works that we have been doing. Like I said, it's an honor, to be in this position, being able to give back. It's something that is very gratifying, knowing that you have a positive impact, on the lives of others. So, once again, I want to say thank you very much. Thank you very much to your viewers, and all those who have been supporting us, all those who are planning to support us, and all those who will be supporting us. So, I'd like to say thank you very much.
Yes, so thank you so much for being my guest tonight and for reaching out. Of course, I really, really appreciate that. And just know going forward, we wish you all the best with the summer program that's upcoming. We think it's going to be successful and bigger and better. So go with confidence, bro. You are going to continue. You all are going to continue to make a difference. All the best and God bless.
All right. Thank you, and good night.
Yes, have a blessed night. Thank you.
Okay, bye. Okay, bye.
All right. Okay, folks, so there we had our dear Glenson Prince sharing with us on such an important foundation in the town, the Glenson Prince Foundation, as you heard. And they are indeed making a difference. They've made a difference before and they will continue to make a difference in our town. I just want to remind us before I go, you're welcome, Yasmina, you're welcome. And I just want to um, remind all of us folks out there that we have to continue to exercise. I like to say before I leave, exercise the protocols, as pertains to COVID-19. It is still existing out there. We just said last weekend we had like two new cases and then went down, and now we have another one. So I see we have two active cases. Well, from yesterday, I don't know what today is, but we had two active cases today in Dominica. And we should not take COVID-19 for granted, regardless of the fact that the numbers are rather small here. We've had no deaths, thanks be to God, but it's not a reason for us to, like get laid back and get just unconcerned, careless about taking the necessary precautionary measures that we should be taking in order to safeguard our lives and that of other people. Okay, so let us continue to exercise the protocols. I urge you again, if you've not been vaccinated, to consider getting vaccinated for you and your family, for your neighbor, for the nation, that we can grow our economy by having more people come to our land, because we would have achieved some level of herd immunity. We're far from the 70%. Okay, so we want that to happen. So, having said that, I want to wish all of you a splendid weekend. I want to urge all of you to find a place to worship. If you don't have to go to my church if you don't want to, but go to a church, find a place to give God praise and to give Him glory, because we are living in a time where there are lots of uncertainties, and none of us is guaranteed tomorrow. I like to say none of us is guaranteed tomorrow. And if we see tomorrow, we must always fall on our knees and say, thank you, Lord, for sparing us. So this is how I want to urge you as I leave. Find a place to worship this weekend, to give God praise and to give Him glory. I wish you a splendid weekend, a good week as it comes, and of course, ensure that you practice the protocols. That's what I always say. May God bless you and keep you. May He let His face shine upon you, and may His peace linger and stay with you and with us in this land. To our friends in SVG, Jose, I saw you, and Calvert, you and your family, and all our friends there in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Want to continue to pray for you guys, that the Lord will keep you and protect you, that the Lord will sustain all of you. We pray that despite the difficulties, that the people will band together and will call call on the Lord for His mercy and His grace as He continues to reach out and to touch your lives in different ways in this situation. Stay positive, stay hopeful. One of those good days, that too will be the past. I trust in God with and for you, as we all consider that we are not guaranteed anything but now, the now. That's the moment that we have. Okay. So everybody, for thank those of you who joined me tonight, who joined us for this very important discussion, I thank all of you. Those of you who shared the live, thank you very much. Those of you who went on and liked the YouTube channel, thank you very much. I've been struggling trying to grow this YouTube channel. It's not, I don't post every day, but if you know somebody, encourage them to subscribe to my channel. If you've not yet done so, I kindly ask you to go ahead, go onto YouTube and hit the little subscribe button, and also hit the bell so that you can know whenever I'm live again. You can get a notification and follow what we're doing. All right, may God richly bless you and have a good night and a wonderful weekend. See you around. Influences with C. Paul.